Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Huber begins now.
Good evening, everyone. Tasmanians are being urged to brace for wild weather, with wind gusts of up to 100 kilometres an hour set to pummel parts of the state tonight. But it's already caused headaches for a number of people who faced power outages. For more on this, we're joined live by our reporter Garth Burley in Launceston. Good evening, Garth. What are conditions like there at the moment?
Good evening, Louise. Well, the wind gusts aren't as powerful at the moment, but it's really only a taste of what's predicted over the coming hours. As mentioned before, gusts of up to 100 kilometres an hour are expected to smash the state. It's caused major dramas for emergency services, especially for police, with branches falling all over Hobart, but also major dramas for Tas networks, with as many as 1,000 people without power tonight. The Weather Bureau is urging people to batten down the hatches.
Should take care to tie down any loose trampolines or items in their backyards. People can leave the house, but they should be careful. There are risks of things like falling branches or an increased risk of trees falling down.
There's also a warning for sheep graziers tonight, so Louise, certainly an interesting few hours ahead.
Certainly seems like that. Thank you for that, Garth. Garth Burley reporting there. An elderly couple in their 80s have died following a sickening two-vehicle crash at Bridge North yesterday afternoon. Police say the Corolla they were driving failed to give way at an intersection when an oncoming ute slammed into their side door at around 2:30. It was a tragic day on our roads, with a 50-year-old woman dying at a crash at Huonville. And there's help on the way for Tasmanian small business owners impacted by the pandemic. The state government offering one-off grants of $1,000 to aid a wide range of businesses with their energy costs.
Florists, butchers, newsagents, a small business of less than 20 employees. This kind of initiative gives them an increased level of confidence, and that confidence is what keeps the wheels turning.
Meanwhile, Tasmanians are being urged to support our veterans as part of Legacy Week, which kicks off today. The state's building and construction industry is renewing its calls for payroll tax relief. A small range of businesses was surveyed, with results finding 76% of businesses would employ more Tasmanians if there was a pause on the tax, creating 200 new jobs and saving up to 1,000.
Recruit new people to service this construction blitz that is coming. It would really be a critical time to have a holiday from that tax.
What this would do is provide some support, particularly for big businesses with big workforces, to make sure that as many of us get through this COVID crisis.
The government says it's already waived payroll tax across a number of areas. After months of events cancelled due to COVID-19, Hobart has welcomed its first live music festival since the pandemic. The annual event allowing Tasmanian musicians to return to the stage, bringing the spirit of jazz to life.
This band swinging in style. Jazz fans soaking up the sultry beats of their favourite style of music.
I think if someone's performing with passion, it's so worth watching and draws you in.
When I was 8 years old, I was given a wind-up gramophone, and in the lid were some 78s from the 30s and 40s, and that was it. So 8 years old, from then on, jazz is it.
Starting here at the Queen's Head Hotel and continuing at venues throughout the North Hobart Strip, the 16th annual Hot August Jazz Festival has hit our stages once again.
All manner of jazz, all the different genres. There's swing, there's bebop, there's zydeco, there's modern, there's contemporary, there's originals, there's you name it.
Those different styles offered by a diverse range of local passionate performers.
The fact that it's improvised is really pretty special, you know, that we can turn up and it's different every time. It's never the same thing twice, it's never boring.
All eager to get back out there and play, following COVID-19 recently silencing Tasmania's live music scene.
It's been pretty tough for everybody. know, we've all given up so much. And yeah, just to be working and communicating like Nick says, musically.
Yeah. Start together, hopefully finish together and see what happens in the middle.
Ruby Kamain, 7 Tasmania News.
A pair of Scottsdale artisans are using their knitting skills to help local farmers. They've been creating free homemade jackets for orphan lambs rejected by their mothers.
Only a few weeks old, Ellie the lamb was forgotten by her mother, but not forgotten by her owner.
She was a very lucky little orphan, really. She was lucky I found her when I did.
She's one of many woolly youngsters facing a huge threat in Tasmania's chilly months.
When you get the orphan lambs, they get really cold.
Worst case scenario, they can freeze to death. But now Ellie's fight against the elements is significantly better thanks to her colourful new coat.
It's a great idea to help to keep them warm when they're just so young.
Scottsdale residents Pam Boland and Di Hallowell are the knitters behind the nifty idea, each churning out as many as 50 homemade jackets for local sheep farmers.
The ones that I have spoken to really appreciate them. Yeah, they think they're gorgeous. Some of those lambs are worth a lot of money. Yeah, so they're worth looking after for that reason alone.
Every design takes around 10 hours, blue for the boys and pink for the girls. They're then donated to the local agricultural shop.
They can take one or as many as they need.
Transforming once overlooked lambs into the unforgettable. Garth Burley, 7 Tasmania News.
There's calls tonight for guide dogs and their handlers to be deemed essential workers. Labor says flight restrictions as a result of border closures have caused issues transporting puppies into Tasmania from South Australia.
At the moment, they can take up to 2 to 3 days, and that means in and out of freight containers, and it's just not humane, and it means discontinuity for the guide dog program.
In a statement, a State Control Centre spokesperson said it will continue to work with Guide Dogs Australia to identify a workable solution to enable puppies to continue to enter Tasmania. In the TSL, Launceston are back on the winners list after a comprehensive win against the bottom-placed Tigers at Windsor Park this afternoon. 8 goals from Dylan Riley helping the Blues to a 96-point win, with the Tigers kept to just 2 goals for the entire match.
After starting the season with 5 straight wins, Launceston had lost their last 2, so today was critical in getting back on track. Kicking with a strong breeze behind them in the first quarter, the Blues blitzed Kingborough, kicking 5 goals and keeping the bottom-placed Tigers scoreless. It was a scrappy second term, as both teams battled wintry conditions. With the breeze behind them, the Tigers started getting inside 50s but couldn't convert their chances, kicking just to 3 behinds. Launceston scoring the only goal of the quarter. Grant Holt slotting it through off the back of a 50-metre penalty. Early goals in the third term saw the Blues lead grow beyond 60 points. Dylan Riley in particular having a great quarter, kicking 5 of Launceston's 8 goals. Tyler Carter eventually breaking the Tigers' goal drought late in the term, but the Blues were well ahead. The Tigers scoring their second goal late in the fourth quarter, helping them avoid recording their lowest ever score in the TSL. But 3 from the home side saw the final margin nudge 100 points. Launceston coming away with a confidence and percentage boosting win. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
To local soccer now, and Glenorchy's NPL Tasmania Championship chances are back on track after a 3-0 win over Launceston City at KG5 last night. The Knights putting their opponents to the sword, dominating a possession on their way to a comfortable win.
Devonport's stumble in the afternoon gave Glenorchy Knights a chance to move within 4 points of them at the top of the table. They didn't waste time, opening the scoring in the 8th minute. Cade Smith finishing off some clinical one-touch football. Alex Walter doubling their lead just before half-time.
Alex Walter from a delightful through ball.
Joffrey Nkoso sealing the match in the second half. His half-cross, half-shot finding its way into the back of the net, helping seal our clinical win. At Warrior Park, Olympia had their first hit-out since moving on their coach during the week. South Hobart keen to continue their misery, Nick Morton putting them in front after 15 minutes. The home side given a chance to get back in the game when Jack Ryan was brought down in the box, his penalty sneaking past the goalkeeper to level the scores. And they took the lead in the 78th minute. Marabo's corner missed by everyone. South Hobart denied a point in the dying stages after this shot was desperately cleared off the line. Olympia putting a tough week behind them and claiming the 3 points. And it's been a tough day for Alex Perroni as the latest round of the Formula 3 Championship got underway in Belgium overnight. Starting from 10th, he dropped 2 places by the end of the first lap. The Tasmanian also having some trouble on the track.
And a bit of a wide moment round on corner for Alex Perroni.
Yeah, very close to the car in front there. And
Perroni eventually finishing 14th in a race marred by safety car incidents. He fared better than a few of his teammates, however. Andreas Essner lost a tyre and front wing, while Alessio Deleda spun out. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmanian Stuart McSwain has won the 5,000 metre event at the Gothenburg Athletics Grand Prix in Sweden. He won in a season best time of 13 minutes, 9.83 seconds, also breaking a 25-year-old stadium record. The King Island runner blitzing a strong field with 10 other competitors recording personal bests. Fellow Australians Matthew Ramsden and Ryan Gregson finished 2nd and 5th.
Good evening. A very windy day across the state today. Spring was well and truly in the air in Hobart, reaching 22 degrees. 16 for Launceston and Burnie, and Devonport reached 15. Friendly Beaches had the state's top temperature with 23 degrees, 21 at Flinders Island, Bushy Park and Grove 20, St Helens 19 degrees, Smithton 17 and just 14 in Lowhead. A frontal band over the west coast. A low pressure system lies to the west of the state. Low-level cloud is moving north through the Southern Ocean across the Bight and onto the South Australian coast. Low-level cloud over the Coral Sea is moving across the Queensland coast. Tomorrow, a high-pressure system in the Tasman Sea will extend to ridge over the Queensland coast, while another high lies over the Bight. Southwesterly winds 25 to 35 knots, easing to 15 to 25 knots around midday. Swells 4 to 5 metres in the west and south. Strong winds around the state with a gale warning from Stanley to South East Cape, as well as Storm Bay, Frederick Henry and Norfolk Bays and the Channel. And a strong wind warning from South East Cape to Stanley, the Derwent Estuary and the Central Plateau Lakes. A warning to sheep graziers for the northwest, south and east. Tomorrow's forecast now, a dramatic drop in temperature for Hobart, just 11 degrees in showers, 10 for Dover and Ooze. Mostly cloudy and 12 in Launceston, Devonport cloudy and 11 in Scottsdale. Wind easing in Burnie, a shower or 2 and 10 for Strawn and 11 in Stanley. 13 degrees for St Helens, windy in Swansea and 10 and cloudy in Ross. On Tuesday, light showers in the west and north, mainly fine elsewhere. Showers developing in the north and west during the morning and extending to the central parts and the northeast during the afternoon on Wednesday. And on Thursday, more showers in the north and west, extending statewide in the afternoon and evening. Around the country tomorrow, 15 and partly cloudy in Adelaide, Melbourne 13 cloudy, sunny in Brisbane and 20 degrees in Sydney. It's currently 15 degrees in Hobart, Launceston 12 degrees and also 12 in Devonport. That's all in weather tonight, Lou.
Lovely, thanks Letitia. And that's all your news for this Sunday evening. Thank you for joining us. Have a lovely evening. Good night.
What makes it all goes well?
That's right.
They did. Oh, at least.